Hey, how's it going, everyone? We're back again for another free live training. I'm your host, Edison Abelard. I'm co-founder of DigiSpire Group, as well as the host of the Stack Bytes podcast. And thank you so much to everybody who's been subscribing and downloading on podcast. Really appreciate it. Love the comments, love the love. So please keep dropping the comments and keep subscribing and keep checking out our content. I'm so excited to be able to share a lot of the material that we've been working so hard with uh, to bring to some of our lead developers, some of our CTOs that we've been advising, and bring that same training to you so we can help you enhance and advance your career. So, like always, we're on multiple platforms. We're on LinkedIn. So, if you're on LinkedIn, what's up? Facebook, what's going on? If you're on YouTube and you follow me on YouTube, what's going on? I'm really happy and excited that you guys are here again for another wonderful workshop. And today, I'm really excited about this one. This is going to be a really fun one because this is something that I did recently. How do you make a impact immediately on someone without sacrificing, right? We want to exceed the expectations without sacrifice. And by that, you're gonna have to stay tuned to the end to find out. All right, cool. Just checking out all the platforms, making sure everybody is good. Like I said before, Edison Abelard, co-founder of DigiSpire Group. We have been working so diligently, get that word out, diligently, uh, to get so much resources ready for you. We've been getting so many great comments and messages, DMs and feedbacks. People want to know more, and this is actually one of those, two big things that came out of the last couple of weeks, and it's interview skills and how do you make an impact. And so we're going to do that. We're going to focus today on the impact portion. And just to let you know, we are hearing you. We do, take your feedback and we try to bring you resources as quick as possible and make sure they're quality resources because that's what we're about. No fluff, get right to it. Make sure you got something that you can jump on and take and put into action right away because that's the key. You have to be able to put it into action. Cool. All right, we'll give everybody just a little bit. All right, let's get started. So exceeding expectations without sacrifice. Oh, let's ride. First thing we want to talk about is you have to know your audience's expectations. Now, your audience doesn't have to be a lot of people. It could be just one person. This could be an interview. This could be you meeting somebody at an event. This could just be you wanting to impress upon somebody your skill sets at any point in time. Know their expectations. If you're dealing with a person that you have any inclination of what they like or something that you want to show them, by knowing their expectations, you're going to be able to set yourself up into a realm of success. And that realm comes from knowing where your boundaries are. And those boundaries are going to be their expectations. Now, that can be easier said than done. So how do you flip and get that information? Oh, you just ask them. You literally can just ask them what their expectations are. And you'd be surprised how many people will word for word give you the expectations, which means all you have to do now is deliver on it. Right? If in the interview, we're just gonna talk about talking to somebody, right? Just keep it really basic and on an everyday conversation, you meet somebody, right? You're going out to eat and you both are waiting for a table, you can ask them, simply ask them, hey, what are you looking forward to eating today? That simple. Then you can spark a conversation up, right? But you know their expectation. They'll tell you right away, oh, I really want to try the sushi, or, I've never been here before, which is cool. Now they have an open expectation, right? But now you can come in and give them advice. You can come in and tell them, hey, you should really try the chicken pad thai. Oh, that's really good here. Or you can get the wings. I would go for the honey garlic wings, right? At that moment, you're helping them, you're guiding them in setting their own expectations. But what's great about the open-ended expectation is as you set it, you get to guide them from step to step. So now you have control, and now you know, if you're thinking ahead, you know what the expectations are, and you can just guide the conversation. You can guide the expertise. And now that you're in the driver's seat, you can set your bar and then just hurdle over it, right? Because that's going to be where you really excel. It's hurdling over that bar. Cool. Now, don't make this one. This is a mistake that a lot of people make. A lot of people make, and it's overreaching, right? You want to set an expectation, so you're going to go buy the most expensive things. You're going to, you know, uh, spend the most money. You're going to put yourself out there way more than you could normally keep up with. That is setting you up for failure. You have to do something about setting yourself in a nice even keel place where you're comfortable, where you still know you can hop over that, that bar with ease, or with just a little bit of, just a little struggle, right? By setting your expectations and setting their expectations somewhere that you can really excel at, you give yourself the room to grow. If you're setting the bar way up here and you're saying, and this is where people get tripped up in our industry, when you get the question, how long will it take? Ooh, don't answer that question. that's a that's a loaded question. You have to be careful about that question. Uh, you want to be able to set a bar where you feel comfortable. So if you say, for example, you've done this type of work before, it's going to take you 3 to 6 weeks to do something. Don't tell them you're going to get it done in 3 days, because now they're expecting you set that boundary. You said you're getting it done in 3 days. And then when it takes 3 weeks, they're going to be pissed because it took so long. But when you set the expectations and you tell them it's going to take anywhere between 6 and 9 weeks, and then you get it done in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, then now the bar is set somewhere where they're like, wow, are you blew through this thing? And we want to be reasonable with the expectation that we set and staying in our comfort zone. Because I do want you to get in the habit of getting just outside your comfort zone, because that's where you really push yourself and push your boundaries. But I'm talking here about controlled environments, right? You can keep pushing yourself. And I know you can. Those of you who are watching this, you're watching this because you're pushing yourself outside of your own boundary. And that's what we want. We want you to keep pushing it. But when you're dealing with others, when you're dealing with the expectations of others, you want to be able to kind of guide them so that you can still maintain your level of expertise. You can maintain your level of influence. You can maintain your level of comfort. You want to be comfortable when you're working and trying to build this expertise level, uh, and layer down the level of expectations for them, right? In order for you to exceed it, you have to be able to control as much of that narrative as possible, right? I know I'm getting into a lot of things really quick. We're going to keep this fluff free and get you as much quality information as possible, and then give you some action steps, because that's the secret. It's actually putting these things in motion, okay? You have to start moving and using these. Use it immediately before you go to bed tomorrow morning. Use it immediately, and that's how it's going to stick. We want to make it a habit, all right? I did a talk a while ago, and I spoke about how I personally believe that Serena Williams is the greatest athlete, maybe, of all time, right? Her skill sets are amazing. She has been doing this for so long, and she's won every championship. She's won, I want to say 23, Grand Slams or something like that. She is like, in terms of pure skill, she's amazing. And she still gets up every day. She does her workouts. She does her 4 hours she does her hours, not just 4 hours of weight training. Then she goes and does her training. So she gets a trainer and a coach, right? Which at that level, you would think, nope, she still has a coach. She's getting coached for 4 hours straight. Then she's going into another session where she's getting massage and strength training. So we're talking about somebody who's at the top of their game and who's been at the top of the world for over a decade, and she's still habitually training herself, getting outside of her comfort zone. All right. And that's what we want to do. We want to get you to put these things in action and make it a habit that you can keep repeating and doing over and over and over again. All right. See if we have any questions before we move on. And yet, at any point in time during a live stream, just jump right into any of the platforms and let us know if you have any questions. I myself, as well as the team, is always looking through the different platforms. I like to do it live because, it's easier for me to just look on the screen and be like, oh, okay, let me answer the question. And I love doing that. I love being able to interact with you immediately. So, yeah. So the next thing we want to talk about is delivering solid results, but with a twist. Okay, just a twist. One of my favorite examples is edible arrangements, right? Edible arrangements, when they came to market, they had an idea to have a delivery service where they can really, it's gifts, right? They're delivering gifts that are edible. Now, you could get a bouquet of flowers, right? But they thought, hey, let's make it edible. Now, when you get a gift and you're like, wow, look at this beautiful arrangement. They're flowers and they look amazing. They're using fresh fruit. They're using a variety of fruits to mimic the beauty of flowers. When you see that, oh my goodness, it is just like, wow, somebody really cares. And they spent a lot of time to get these little bitty fruits to look so good. And of course, you can eat them. That's always awesome. When you deliver on a promise to give somebody a gift, and then you throw that twist of making it a edible gift, it's amazing. Then you throw the detail work that's in there, that's delivering with a twist. That's going to be memorable, regardless of who you are in the marketplace. If you come to any, whether it's a event or if you're in business and you're just trying to hit some objectives, if you just come and you deliver high quality with a twist, people are going to remember it. They're going to remember it. And if you follow the other two, you know their expectations, and then you are in your comfort zone while doing it, adding that twist is going to add that flavor, that sauce that's just going to take things to the next level. And it's going to keep them thinking of you top of mind, regardless of what distractions come in or hurdles that have to be jumped. They're going to keep you top of mind and they're going to know the quality you bring. Now, I like to think of rock climbing. When somebody is climbing a rock, right? You're going up a mountain, right? Think of your journey with whoever you're interacting with, right? You're going up a mountain, but you're their guide up that mountain, right? As they're climbing, they can put their foot and their hands up, trying to struggle to keep their fingers on like a firm grip. There's a nice grip on the rock to try to get to the next level. But when you set their expectations, you can put a peg in that mountain for them. And then they can grab onto that peg, make it a little easier. And you put another peg and another peg. And what will happen is you're guiding them up the mountain. And that mountain is your expectation. And you're going up and up and up. And the whole way you're guiding them, right? It's amazing when you can do that. Now remember, the mountain could be big, it could be small, but the fact that you've taken them out of having to grip onto that rock and try to hold on for dear life by giving them just a little bit of an ease and just guiding them up the mountain, they're going to be able to seriously enjoy the trip up. But more than that, they're going to really appreciate you. They're going to be indebted to you. Because what will happen is when you get to that summit, you finally get to the top of the summit, they're going to look up and they're going to see that beautiful scenery and they're going to remember you. They're going to remember you guiding them up to that summit. And when they finally breathe and they're just soaking up the sun rays and they're looking at that skyline and they're looking out and just seeing the world, They're going to remember you. They're going to be like, wow, you helped me up that mountain. You helped guide me. And that's what I'm talking about when I say we want you to be able to exceed expectations without sacrifice. You're staying in your comfort zone. You're guiding them. You know what the expectation is, or you're working in the conversation to get what the expectation is. And then you deliver high quality with a twist. And that's how you can build your expectations. You can build and exceed others' expectations without any hesitation, without any sacrificing of yourself, money, or resources. The more time we can spend early on in a relationship, fostering a relationship, and learning what those expectations are, the better informed you are when you make your decisions. So be that guide going up the mountain and guide your friends or your colleagues, or even if you're in an interview, guide that conversation in a zone where you're comfortable and guide them up that summit so they can see that view. And in turn, appreciate the work that you've done to help them get there. Right? I hope that really, really sticks, and you understand that this is so important. It's such an impactful way to grow and build relationships. Just asking, setting boundaries, finding the boundaries, knowing your comfort zone and staying in there and hurdling just above it. And of course, getting to that summit and helping them, guide them to that summit to get that beautiful view. All right, let's check out some of our comments and see what's going on. Yeah, I know I covered a whole lot in a really quick time. What's going on, Gigi? Steve, what's up? All right, time for some Q&A. All right, first question. How do you apply this to an interview? Yes, yes. In an interview, during the interview process, just know that you control the path of the interview. Although you're being interviewed, the person that's interviewing you is just as important as you are, but you're coming into the environment, and the questions that you ask will lead that interview down a certain path. The answers that you give are just as strong. For example, let's say you're weak in RESTful APIs, not your strength, but you're great at GraphQL, absolutely great at GraphQL, right? You get into interview and they're talking about RESTful, and you might want to say, yeah, RESTful is amazing. It's been around for a while. You can use it for microservices. But wow, what did GraphQL do? GraphQL just completely set the whole industry upside down with being able to have better quality APIs that far exceed RESTfuls. You see what I did there? Well, now what I did was I explained that I know what RESTful APIs are. Then I said that they were great, and then I brought in the technology I want to talk about. I brought in GraphQL. Now, by also framing GraphQL, because we're framing it, right? This is part of the guiding is framing. So I'm framing GraphQL as the predecessor for RESTful APIs, right? So now if they come back and ask me a question about RESTful APIs, now they're going to have to reconcile with themselves. Am I really going to be talking about that outdated technology? Or do I want to know more about this new technology that's shaping the industry, right? I shaped and framed the interview. I moved it right to where I want it, all right? So that's how you can use expectations and setting expectations. Coming in that they're here to interview you, but you're here to interview them just as much they're here to interview you. So take control of the interview. Don't just sit back and lay back and let them ask questions. No, sit forward, sit up straight, lean in, show that you're interested, right? And shift the conversation to where you want it to go, right? Ask the questions. The questions that you ask say a lot about your experience, and the answers that you give will lead the interviewer down a path. So that's how you want to guide them, is by asking specific questions, and frame them towards what you want to speak about, right? Especially if the interview is going sideways, this is a great way to jump right back in and recover if something does go a little bit shifty, or if you don't feel comfortable where things are going. All right. Relationships. All right. Cool. 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 So when you're dealing with relationships, and let's say it's with a sibling, right? I got a bunch of them. Got a bunch of cousins, a bunch of siblings. So when dealing with siblings and relationships, right? You want to be able to connect with them, right? Especially when they're people that you know and you have a long or an intimate relationship with them, right? They know your strengths, they know your weaknesses. You've both seen each other's ups and downs. You want to be able to talk to them and know where they're at and meet them where they're at, right? Once you can meet them where they're at that point, then you start looking for that frame. You start looking for those boundaries, right? And then you set expectations. And the expectation, it could be a road trip, right? Let's say you want to go out to Vegas, right? You set the boundaries up, or you're talking about it, and you find the boundaries are, yes, we're cool to go to Vegas, or yes, we're cool to go to Haiti, to Jamaica, to Puerto Rico, wherever you want to go, right? We're clear to go there. So now you have a boundary, right? From that point, then you want to stay in your comfort zone, right? And just as much for you to stay in your comfort zone, you want them to be comfortable as well. So you stay in your comfort zone, right? Let's say you're comfortable with going to Las Vegas, but you want to keep your budget in line, right? You want to stay within this budget, right? That's you staying in your comfort zone. Like, can you hurdle above that? Yes, you can. However, you want to stay in your comfort zone, right? And in the conversation, once again, because we're talking about building genuine relationships, you want to still be able uh, to give some kind of deliverable with a twist, right? So what you could do is in this case, you're going to Las Vegas, you set your comfort zone. Maybe you do something there that's just a little bit different than what you normally do, right? Maybe you go see, I don't know, let's say Mariah Carey's, has some kind of residence there, or Beyonce, or like go somewhere, do something a little different with a twist, right? Or maybe it's Vegas, right? Maybe instead of going out at 8 p.m., maybe you start the day at 3 a.m., right? You do something just a little bit different, 2 a.m., and you start the day, just having fun, and then you do breakfast, and then you go to sleep, right? Just do something with a twist, right? So you can still build the relationships that you have with the people around you, and still do all that, while still building genuine relationships with others, all right? Look for some more questions real quick. Yeah, keep them coming. And if you do have questions and you're watching this after the fact, please drop a line at any point in time. And if you find the post, that's a good place to do it. Or you can definitely check us out on Facebook. You can look for Developers Leading in Tech, as well as Developers Leading Tech on LinkedIn, and then Eason Abelard on YouTube, right? So if you follow there, or you request an invite for the groups, then in there you'll be able to ask more questions and get a lot more feedback, as well as more resources. That's where all of our resources are going into, is in those groups, to really help the people who are really looking to advance their careers and are looking for serious ways to do it. Right? Doing these free trainings, because I noticed that there's been a lack of resources and opportunities for people to really excel, not just get in and kind of mope around. And no, I'm talking about really excelling. I mean, buying homes and reaching those goals and dreams and aspirations, right? Really enjoying the industry as much as I have. It's been over 15 years. I absolutely love what I do. Somebody asked me one time, what are you gonna do when you retire? Retire? You couldn't stop me from learning something new in the industry or teaching it or doing stuff. Like, this is what I love. And I want to share that. I want more people to be able to enjoy the industry as much as I did. So I want to give you the tools and the resources. So to get started, you go to edisonabelard.com/community. There you'll be able to sign up to get resources and know when all the newest information is coming out. You'll have exclusive access to our scheduling, new posts, as well as all the resources right away, because it does trickle down to all the different platforms. But you sign up, you'll also get an email, and you'll get access to both the Facebook and the LinkedIn groups. So then you can get even more focused and really fine tune resources and attention to really building your and advancing your career, right? All about advancing your career and building up your mindset and self-growth, as well as really pushing technology and what we do. Because at the end of the day, we're software engineers, right? We're techies. But there's so much more to excelling. There's so much more to really having a really successful career, right? Awesome. So this has been great. I hope you've gotten so much value out of this. If you have any questions or any comments, please drop a line on any of the platforms. I'm eAbelard on everything. Check out edisonabelard.com/community so you can join developers leading in tech and start advancing your career now. Edison Abelard, thanks for the ride. I'm out.